Okay, so you are going to want to start out with freshly shampooed and blow dried hair, which like, duh, Sky, we know that already. Why are you telling us that? I'm just in case you didn't know, you know. But for the hair that I'm using Expressions pre-stretch hair, and it is the 3X pack, meaning it has 3 times as much as a normal pack, and it is in the length 52 because I like mine long but not too long, and I'm a tall girl, so I can't have short braids. It just it's not. I'm just thinking about how long these braids are. You're gonna need some Shine Jam in the red jar just because I just feel like it holds the best. You're gonna also need a braiding rack, which is gonna save you so much time. I got mine from my local beauty supply store, but you can also find these on Amazon. Some little braid accessories, which I didn't even end up using, but they were super cute, whatever. And of course, you wanna have a rat tail comb so you can section and part out your braids. So to start off with sectioning your hair, your braiding hair for your braids, this is why that rack is so important. It's just gonna make your process go a lot quicker. Because I'm doing medium size knotless braids and my hair is on the finer side, I want to gradually build that braid. So I'm going to take smaller sections, about 6 of these per braid. It's literally about the size of a Q-tip stick. That's the best way I can describe it. And the first piece that I use is about half that size because, like I said, my hair is finer, so I want to gradually build that braid up. But if your hair is thicker, you can just leave it at those same sizes. Okay, so for these sections, in order to, just set myself up for success, because we like to work in sections, so we don't overwhelm ourselves. At least I do, because if I was to just go straight into my head and just start doing braids, I would just be looking like I still got the whole half of my head left. Instead of, okay, I have 1 section done, and I only have these 2 left, because I like to work with 3 sections. So all I do is part that back section from the front section, and then when I do the whole back, and then once I get to the top, those sections are completely, those are so much smaller than the back. So it's kind of like tricking yourself into thinking that you got more than what you actually have done, because you have that one back section, that full section, then you have these 2 smaller sections, so it kind of just makes you feel like you're working faster. So these are the important parts of this whole video: sectioning and making sure your parts are straight, because the girls are out here charging extra for straight parts. No. So I like to just pull my hair up into a ponytail. That way it's easier. I don't have to worry about hair falling out or being in my way. And you don't want to make this ponytail tight because you are going to be pulling hair out of that. So let's get into these parts. You're going to need 2 mirrors. One that's in your hand, and one that's sitting straight behind you, facing you, so you can actually see what you're doing. And the best way to get a good straight part is to just take your comb and go straight through. Don't lift it, don't move it, just go straight through so you can at least get it parted. And by your hair being in a ponytail, it helps because you won't have all the extra hair to worry about. You won't have to feel for if your hair is in the way. Like it just makes it so much easier and so much seamless. Like you see, this part is for the most part straight. All I have to do is go back in and add my Shine Jam that I showed you in the beginning. You're going to bring that and drag it across the part, and doing this is going to allow for your part to become even straighter. Now you just want to go straight across that same part. You want to try your best not to steer away from the part you've already created, because that's what's going to make it not straight anymore. You're just trying to even out what you've already created, and the gel is going to help do that. It's going to move the rest of those pieces. I know this looks crazy now, but once I comb everything into place, the part is chef's kiss. It's straight, and this is the back of my head. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it too. And then you just want to comb all the extra hair out your way so you can start your braids. as you get up further towards the top of that section, you want to start kind of curving those braids. You don't want to try, your braid is still going to be straight, but you don't want to take it straight across, because what's going to happen is, because our head is round, that middle section is going to be a lot thicker than the ends. And that's because, like I said, our hair is round, and as we get towards the back, that is the widest part of our hair. So if we're going to go straight, the ends are going to be super thin, and then that middle part is going to be thick. Now, as you further you get up your head, is going to create a U shape, which is perfectly fine. You're just going to keep on going, and once you do the top braids, it's just going to fall even more seamlessly. So you just want to check to make sure that your sections, each row that you part, are the same width and height as the previous one, and that's what you just see me doing now. And like I said, you're going to take that shiny gem, spread it across that part, and then you're going to repart it with your tail comb. And let me just say this, starting with the back is really going to help you make your front look neater, just because this is just repetition. You're going to be doing the same thing over and over throughout your whole head. So once you start in the back, the more you get towards the front of your hair, you'll start building that muscle memory, and then it's just going to become second nature, and your braids in the front are going to look a lot better than the ones in the back. But no one's going to see the back, so not saying it doesn't matter, and not saying you still shouldn't try to make it as neat as possible. But if you are a beginner, starting in the back will help you make your hair look more professional, because by the time you get to the front, you'll get the hang of it, and it'll just be super easy for you to get these braids, baby girl. Also, I just want to let y'all know, don't get confused when you see me working on the back of my head, then you see me jump to the front. I just did different sections to show you all different methods. So it's going to bounce around, and certain areas of your head need to be parted a certain way. So I just wanted to make the whole video cohesive, so people who want to know just about parting or prepping their hair or starting a braid, they can, jump to wherever they want to in the video. So you want these braids to lay nice and flat over each other. So you want to brick lay that. And what I mean by brick lay is you want to put your partings for your new braids directly like in the middle of the section that's under it. I hope that made sense, but like you literally can see what I'm doing. You just want to make sure that part of that braid is starting in the middle of the previous braid. That way, when it falls and it'll lay in between those braids like bricks. So hence brick lay pattern. So when it comes to sectioning the front for your braids, you don't want to start right there. You want to start slightly upwards and angle it a little downwards going towards the front, because remember, our head is round. So that top section that's going across the top of our head, it's wider than our hairline. So if we were to just take this part and go straight from the front straight to the back, by the time we get towards the middle of our head, towards that middle part, we're going to run out of hair in the front. So this just helps you keep nice even parts. Okay, y'all, so pay attention. You want to make sure that you're combing that product through, because you don't want to have any lumps or clumps into your braids. These braids are meant to be flat and seamless. And yeah, so just comb and smooth that out, because like I said, we want this to lay flat. Now, when it comes to adding the hair and starting your braid, I'm going to show several different methods. Just, you can pick whichever is comfortable for you, whichever you feel looks the best for you. So with this method, I'm going to take my 3 pieces and I'm going to braid down about twice. I'm left-handed, so I always want to make sure my left hand is free, and the hair that's my index finger and my thumb is holding, that's where I'm going to place my hair into, and then continue down the braid. Don't worry, I did add some close-ups and some slow motion so you can see it multiple times again. So just notice and take note on how I am only using my fingertips for braid. You don't need to be using your whole hands. Just your fingertips is great, because it's going to allow you to grip a lot better, and it's going to make the braid nice and tight. Attention to my hands. You see, they never lift up from my scalp. That is to ensure that your braiding hair does slip out, since we are adding it to an individual braid and not like a feed-in braid, it can easily slip down. So you just want to make sure you keep your hands close to your scalp until you add that last piece, however many pieces you're going to be using, and then you can, loosen up, and not loosen up, but then you can move your hands away from your scalp. But this is just going to ensure that the braid is tight and secure at the top. Now, just like I said, you want to make sure you're smoothing out that section, and instead of braiding down twice, you're literally going to add the braiding hair immediately. So I do just cross one over and then add the braid hair. And now I'm going to show you a different way to put the braid hair into that piece. Instead of just grabbing it with your fingers, you can create like a little loop at the top, and that's going to allow you to literally slip the braiding hair between your index finger and your thumb. And like I said, don't worry, y'all know I'll be giving y'all the angles, baby. So I'm going to show you all close up as well as different angles so you can see better. But yeah, I like this method better because, like I said, it is easier for you to add that hair and grip it better because it's already nice and tight and thin. Yep, so like I said, just slap the hair in and pretty much throw it over and connect it with your braids. So these are all pretty much the foundations of doing your knotless braids. This is just, like I said, this is just part one. In part two, we're going to discuss how to make your braids nice, neat, and even, as well as how to dip them and how to finish off your style. Thank you all so much for watching, and like I said, stay tuned for part two.